I'm in Shenandoah National Park, and this is the trailhead for the Rose River Fire Road. Up there's the turnaround. There's a lot of cars here today. It's Saturday morning. Yep, there's my little red car. There's the road you come up on. And I'm here today. This is going to be a fairly short hike, hopefully. I'm going to head over this way. Down there's the Rose River, and I'm going to try and find a way across the river and look for an old abandoned cemetery over there. The literature calls it the Dallas Anderson Cemetery. So, and then the old maps also showed the locations of some of the homesteads back in the day. So I'm going to try and get across the river, and we'll explore around over there a little bit. The elevation here is 1,150 feet. Tenth of a mile into my hike, I'm down to the Rose River here, and when I do the map talk, I'll show you. This is the old road right here. The new road's way up there. That's where my car is, up there. But here's the old road that ran along the river, and it continues on this way for a while. So I'm going to explore around here a little bit and look for the best place for me to try and get across. I got to get over to the other side. Here's the park boundary. There's a sign there, red blazing on this tree here. And heading in the other direction, there was probably a sign that said, I'm guessing it said private property, keep out or something. So there's where I came from, the keep out zone. So let me head down here and see if I can figure out where this road used to cross this river. Right over here somewhere. Okay, well, when I look up there on that bank, it looks like that's where the road used to be. And it came down here, and it looks like maybe it crossed right along in through here and continued over like that. So I think I'm going to take off my hiking boots and put some waterproof Crocs on and just wade across right here. Okay, well, now I'm on the other side of the Rose River. I waded across in my Crocs. Then I dried my feet off and put my hiking boots back on. Here's the old road right here. Coming up through here. It's kind of turned itself into a drainage ditch now, and then it heads on up the side of the mountain a ways. And right there, that's on the upstream side of the bank there, you can see those rocks piled up there. So there was probably more than that back in the day. But yeah, that's what happened. This thing came down through here, and it shot across at about a 45-degree angle over there towards that great big giant rock you see. So I'll mark this with a waypoint. And oh, and right there, maybe you can see there's a black metal post sticking up. Not sure what that's, probably just to mark this spot. So anyway, I'll explore this up a little ways, and then I'm gonna head over this way to look and see if I can find anything of the old cemetery. Yeah, so maybe you can see all those rocks piled up there. There's the right side, over there's the left side, and heading on up the side of the mountain. And then it came down here, down that way, and made a little bend to the left, and then went across the Rose River down there. I'm going to head over here though, because the reason I came over here was to see if I could find this old cemetery. So I'm going to look around, see what I can find. That almost looks like a little branch of this road that came up and made a turn over that way. So maybe if I follow that over that way, I'll run into something. Let's see what we can find. Seven-tenths of a mile into my hike, I just crossed over a little feeder stream right there. That's the way I came from, over there, looking for the cemetery. I haven't seen the cemetery, and I don't know, according to my GPS I should have already passed it, but then this looks like maybe where one of the old homesteads used to be. See this? See these rocks? Here's the corner. And then it heads on over that way. And up there, of course, is all filled in and stuff. I looked up there, that's not the cemetery though. I don't, or if it is, there aren't any headstones sticking up. So the road looks like it might continue on this way to the east. So I may explore this a little bit further, but I'll mark this with my GPS. This is probably where one of the old homesteads was. Well, I hiked back to the west just a little bit, a few hundred feet, to take one more look for this cemetery. According to my GPS, I'm within about 30 feet of where it should be, but I don't see a trace of it. So there's a lot of blown down trees and stuff. It's possible that there were just real simple markers that got covered up by trees falling on them and stuff. But I don't see anything. That one walled off area that I showed you, I mean, I guess there's a possibility that that was the cemetery, but I didn't see any markers up there either. So, you know, I was thinking that walled off area was a dwelling, because it's close to where a map says a dwelling should be. So I don't know. I don't know. I guess I have to say I don't know if that walled off area, that's either the cemetery with no markers or a dwelling, what's left of a dwelling. Wandering around here, this is rough hiking. It's extremely overgrown with thorny bushes and stuff. I'm a little higher up on the mountain now, around 1,220 feet, and here's some more piled up rocks going down that way. I'm not sure what this is. This looks like it's might have been next to an old driveway or something, so it might have just been, could have been reinforcing for a driveway. But there's the beginning of it, and then it runs on down this way, which is the way I'm headed, to see if we can find anything else. So yeah, maybe you can see those rocks piled up there. That's the edge of the reinforcing. There's the road right there. And then this thing looks like it shoots across this stream. This is just a feeder stream that feeds down to the Rose River. And it looks to me like the road shot across here and just kept right on going that way. So we'll follow this a little bit further. And right up here, it looks like something metal. So let me go up there and see what that is. I'll take a still picture of that. And then I'm going to shoot across here and see if I can find anything else. I'm kind of running out of gas though, because these thorny bushes, they're eating me alive. So 1 mile into my hike. I've been climbing the mountain a little bit looking for my Homestead C, like Charlie. Mile into my hike, I'm at 1,250 feet, and here it is. What's left of it. So I'm gonna readjust the position of that waypoint so I have accurate coordinates for this one. And I also did that for the first one, which was Rose waypoint A. .2 miles into my hike, I'm down closer to the river again, down to 1,180 feet. And I'm standing in the area one last time where the 1994 map told me the cemetery was. I don't see anything. So normally, if you see those markings, those cemetery markings on a 1994 era map, they're usually pretty accurate. But I don't see anything. It's possible that it's still here, but who knows? Maybe the family moved. Maybe the family moved the people that were buried here to get them out of the park and put them somewhere else. Who knows? Up there is the road, like a dirt road, and it goes down that way and it makes a bend to the left, and then it heads on down and shoots across the river. So that's the way I'm going back. Over there's the other side where you normally hike. So it's probably pretty rare that people come over here, because it's kind of a pain getting across here, and usually anybody that's crossing the river is just standing in it with waders on to fish. So okay, well there's the road. That's where I came from. Maybe you can see the embankment here. Comes down here, and right here, right before that big tree in the middle of the camera, right before there, it makes a bend to the left. And down we go to cross the river. So that's where I'm headed now. Okay, here we go across the river. Up there's the old road. Hopefully you can see it up there. Comes down here, shoots across right there, which is where I'm going to cross. I got my Crocs on now, ready. Hopefully I can get across that slipping. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Old Rag Mountain, 1994. And the original purpose of the hike was supposed to be a real short hike, just going across the river and looking for this abandoned cemetery, Dallas Anderson Cemetery. While I was over there, though, I decided to look for a few homesteads that I saw on an older map from 1929. I'll show you that map in a second. This is Route 670, Old Blue Ridge Turnpike, and you basically follow it up here until it dead ends. There's a trailhead here at the park boundary. So you park here, and then what I did was I went down, straight down here to the Rose River and looked for a spot to cross. Crossed over and then started looking for this cemetery and 1, 2, 3, 4 different homesteads. Now let me show you the old map for a second. This is from a Stony Man map of 1929. And this is the area right here that I'm talking about. If you'll notice, this is all green, but this area here is cleared out. And this map shows a road coming up and crossing like this, and crossing the Rose River, and then continuing off to the west. Well, it turns out there's also a little piece of it that goes over here to the east towards these 4 homesteads. So I got the coordinates off this map for these homesteads, and while I was over here I looked for them. Alright, now back to the 1994 map. So I crossed a river right here. I was able to find traces of the old road, and I did not follow it up far enough to see it come over like this and head west. I didn't go up that high on the mountain, but I did find this little piece of it right here that curls over and heads east. Now I looked for this cemetery quite a bit. I didn't find any trace of it at all, but then I continued on to the east, and I did find the remnants of Homestead A. Then I turned north, started climbing the mountain some, and I found the remnants of C. Now, ordinarily I would have come over here, but this is really rough hiking. It's extremely overgrown with thorny bushes and things, and the thorns were eating me alive. So I decided not to go any further and even look for this one. So I found this one, I found this one, and then I started to circle back where I came from. I looked, this is a ravine right here. I crossed over the ravine, looked for B, didn't see B. Okay, then back down in this area one more time looking for the cemetery, couldn't find it, and then back across the river and back to my car. Ended up being pretty short as planned, 1.5 miles, but notice it took me almost 2.5 hours to go 1.5 miles, and total ascent was 290 feet. So I didn't find a cemetery that I was looking for, but I did find a trace of a homestead here at A and also here at C. You'll see those pictures in the video and in the stills. And that was the hike for today.